If I could see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. Oh, I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. See me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. Just as R. Kelly sang, if I can see it, I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. 2 years ago, the founders and tech team at BranchX thought of an idea. They imagined something. That idea is being unveiled right before your very eyes this evening. So I'd like to welcome you all to unveil and unwind with us. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Life in an Indian neighborhood often begins at the counter of a kirana store. These counters are not just places of trade, they are the heartbeat of our economy. With 20 million such stores across the country, they contribute nearly 10% of our GDP and employ over 8% of the Indian workforce. But behind the counter, every store faces challenges that are mounting day by day. For instance, 60% of these stores still run on manual billing, with margins shrinking to a mere 2 to 5%. For most owners, getting access to credit remains out of reach. And a lot of them haven't upgraded to the latest tech and still rely on basic digital payments like UPI. Today, with modern retail and e-commerce platforms expanding, customer loyalty towards these kirana stores is fading. The kiranas who once seemed invincible are now vulnerable. At BranchX, we didn't look at it like a problem. We looked at it like a new possibility. A possibility to bring intelligence where it matters the most, the counter of a kirana store. We realized 3 things. Retailers need simplicity and access to credit. Brands need visibility and a clear return on investment. Banks and NBFCs need signals for lending. And our insight was simple. When goods and money flow, so does the data. Which means every transaction, every reorder, every repayment carries a signal. If captured at the source, these signals have the power to not only transform a retail store, but also revolutionize the entire retail finance ecosystem. But before we dive deep into this, let's properly understand the problems faced by the merchants on an everyday basis. And for that, we have someone who sees their struggles up close every day. Someone who knows the pulse of India's merchants. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and with a thunderous round of applause, welcome BranchX's product manager, Mr. Sahil Jamal.
Hello. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Mumbai. And thank you for joining us for this special moment in the journey of BranchX. To make a revolution in retail, let us understand what these merchants, how they play a role in our day-to-day lives. Since I was a kid, since school, since college, right? Be it a kirana wala, a tea seller, and even a tailor, they were more than just retailers for us. They were a part of our lives, right? Like Rajubai, Rajubai was my chaiwala. He had this stall right outside our college, and me, along with three of my friends, we used to go there every single day. Every day. I don't think so we missed any day, be it before classes, after classes, even during classes, lunch break, tree break, all that stuff. We used to go there every single day. And the thing about Rajubai, right, even though his stall was crowded, he would see us coming. From far away, from our college gate, he would see us coming. And the moment we reached there, our chai is all ready. And he would say, Sahil bhai, ye aapka chai. Fahad bhai, ye aapka chai. Krishna bhai, ye aapka chai. Or Joel bhai, ye aapka chai. Why? Because Raju bhai knew exactly how we all liked our tea. He knew that I liked my tea more strong, more sugar. And he knew that Krishna liked it opposite, less sugar, less, not so strong, right? And eventually, Rajubai, he joined in our conversations, right? We had endless conversation, and I don't think so I should say this because my dad is sitting right here, but we talked a lot about girl problems, relationship problems, problems in general. Rajubai, he was there every single time. We gave each other such terrible advices on our problems. It was really funny. What I'm trying to say is that, Rajubai wasn't Rajubai the chaiwala anymore. He was Rajubai, our friend. He was a part of our daily lives. Even when you look at your neighborhood tailor, right? If you're his loyal customer, he would slowly, like chupke, he would come and prioritize your order. And on top of that, he might even give you some discounts. Like, Sahil bhai, it's 150 hai, par aapke liye 100. Even, I used to go to this Kirana store uncle at the evening time, right? And every time I go there at the evening time, he would come in, whenever I enter, he would say, Anda mone sugelle, va, which is Malayalam for how are you, son, how are you? How are you doing today? Please come in. And followed by, he would say, Oru chai edukkate. So that means, may I offer you some tea? These small gestures are what makes them more than just, service providers, right? They have become a trusted companion, right? And a member of our extended family. And they always greet us with a smile. But today behind that smile lies an untold truth. Yep. Is that even though they empower neighborhoods, right, employ millions, they still remain the most underserved ecosystem in retail. Yes. Why? And because the system lacks visibility, right? The tools that they use are fragmented. And the most important thing, trust. Trust is missing. And what's even more shocking is that 80% of these merchants lack digital transaction history. And even all these manual processes lead to lack of efficiency and leaves no room for growth, right? And even lack of access to credit, right? Lack of access to credit prevents them from expanding, right? And even manage their day-to-day operations, right, more efficiently. Now I share what lies ahead. Thank you guys so much.
To set the stage, let's meet the person who dared to see an opportunity where everyone saw an obstacle. A visionary who imagined a world where every kirana, every shop, every retailer could prosper. A man who was about to transform how India's 20 million merchants work and thrive. With a big round of applause, join us in welcoming the CEO and co-founder of BranchX, Mr. Rajesh Johnny.
Good afternoon and welcome to GFF and welcome to a great evening with BranchX. The story of retailers are all of us. We have people from around the world here, luckily. The journey had been fabulous. I remember from my part of the story, my father was in the army. We were in Bangalore. We were just having a great time, nice summers, beautiful places. And one day my papa got an opportunity, or rather a punishment to go to Himachal. Instead of sending us to Kulu Manali for holiday, he was sent back to Kerala. Because all of a sudden that was too cold for us, so I'm in Kerala. My grandpa was very smart. He used to send me to the local retailer, and so that the chiller is my motivation to go to the good thing was that I could collect the chiller. The bad thing was that with my brittle Malayalam, the shopkeeper was deaf and dumb. So he used to use the lip to read, and my lip reading was not happening, surprisingly. And at the same time, I used to carry bags home because he knew the family. He knew the family's purchase behavior. They knew that what we would be buying. But my grandpa was very happy. Everybody was very happy. And at the same time, we realized that there is a lot of voice out there without sounding. There is an intelligence at the counter. And that's exactly what we are trying to do. We want to create this intelligence at the counter across the nation for people who doesn't have the same kind of a voice, the same kind of a technology, or the same kind of a capability. We also know that it's all about the chatter at the shop. It's not about one man, one customer. It's always about many people come in, many people get served, transactions happening, a little laughter, a little chit-chat, some payments, some transactions, some thinking, some stock, some doesn't have it. So how do you bring it all together? This takes time, this takes efforts. And at the same time, we miss some, we gain some. And along with it, the intelligence at the counter need to be blended well. And are we blending it well? The question. And that's when one day we saw that intelligence at the counter is not seamless. And seamlessness is something that my partner, Sajid, is very good at. So one day he called up and said, buddy, there is intelligence. Everybody is doing too many kirana techs out there. But is it really putting it together as a fintech? Is there a way that we get to connect them together? I said, Sajid, you're mad. I keep saying that to him, and he proves that actually I am mad. So we started putting it together, and we had opportunities to blend it amongst situations where the journey of a retailer can be built with a set of seamless transactions between where the goods, money, and data moves together, creating an ecosystem that can create the future of retail that is getting huddled by e-commerce, to quick commerce, or whatnot. And to give trust and access to credit, you just need to bundle the opportunity of creating a merchant out there, a lender, a brand, and of course, a good customer. And they all play seamlessly to create a set of footprints, a journey, and an access to credit. And that's exactly where the thinking, the intelligence, and embedding all these things came together for us. And to do that, we had a magical opportunity. That opportunity came across the size. Of course, it's emotional, but at the same time, the size to tackle it. So we have a great backer for us, Afzal. He has been working across the emerging economies. I have been reading about emerging economies and writing about emerging economies for the last decade. So we had certain data to say that how the mom and pop stores from all the way from the Northern Americas, the strip malls are dying, the mom and pops are dying. We've lived in the Middle East, we can see the bakhalas are dying. And then back at home, here, we have kiranas are under tremendous attack by modern technology. So can we create an ease of technology, not by another barrage of complex technologies and dashboards and hard decision making, and still left to the chartered accountant to come and tell you that what exactly happened at your counter after 2 months? To create Zini as an intelligence, as a possibility. That's what you're here for, all ladies and gentlemen. And here we are presenting to you something exciting. We call it Zini Intelligence. And for that, we had a big fight. So Sajid wanted to think out of the box. And I'm a boring guy. I want to bring in the box. So there is an idea, there is somebody who's creating a wall, and there is a set of engineers. Idea, wall, engineer, wall, idea. It went back and forth multiple times. So we decided that there will be a box, but the idea will be out of the box. And here we are. And to see it closely, I want you to check out a set of brochures that will be placed next to you. To come see close a Zini Intelligence in print. You'll also see the Zini Intelligence in action after that. With all your permission and with your approval, I'm going to unveil the modern way of small retail is going to manage their business. We are going to see a $3 trillion opportunity across India alone. This is not just hardware. This is not just software. This is the intelligence layer that is completely embedded into the heart and soul of kiranas, small retail, and SMEs across by creating a complete pipeline from the manufacturing to the distribution to the retail to the consumer and everything in between to create the most seamless opportunity to create a 3 trillion window to all of us to be part of. And I'm so happy to be among you in this moment to present this device. Thank you, Sajid, for fighting with me all single day because I was against it and he was the one who really fought for me. Thank you for giving me this stage and thanking from all of us for creating Bharat Zini. So, intelligence at the counter is all about, Sahil said earlier, retailers need a lot more ease to do business. They don't need a technology, they don't need a stack, they don't need things. They just need to run their business without worrying about what's going to stop them. Because this is a huge opportunity, because you're talking about every small pin code, that uncle, that small shopkeeper who's occupying real estate, who's got the potential to go from that small wooden shutters to the proper shutters to a mart and fight with those large, big forces who are definitely going to come to their doorsteps via various forms of delivery. And this is exactly where this can come with the ease of talking to it in Marathi, talking to it in Odia, and speak to it in any of the Indian way and exist and create something for all of us. And as a fintech, we have a very interesting case to it because we believe that as bankers, as financial institutions, we need data that is going to give us a lot more views about how this is getting consumed at the retail end. The current environment, the data is stuck at the retailer, and inventory sometimes gets moved back, and this is not recommended or represented clearly in the ecosystem or in the balance sheet. So we believe that with connecting that last mile, going to the last man with the last data point, we create an opportunity for a financial institution to back those million retailers that are supporting our last mile economy. And we're happy to power Bharat in this way and create the next wave for our opportunity in this period of building for the Tier 2 of India. And we are there in the last 5 years, and we're going to create a lot more opportunities for us and for all the stakeholders, and we want you to really back us in this journey. It's going to be tremendously tumultuous and tiring, but we don't want to give up. We want to make it inch by inch and feet by feet, and then kilometer by kilometer, we want to move ahead. Let's do this Himalayan task a lot more easy, and Zini is going to make it all easy for us, for partners, bankers, and all our well-wishers. Here is it. And to see this in real action, I want to call up my CTO, who's been killing himself, not slept for a sizably long time, and Rishi, who's our product manager, who's been fresh out of college. We literally groomed him into the box thinking. Welcome, guys, and take it over from me. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Rajesh, for giving us this opportunity. So when we started, the idea was to power insights with intelligence. That is why we call it Zini. So Zini is an AI basically. It's a voice that understands retailers in 12 plus Indian languages. It tracks your sales, it understands your requirement, it comes back to you in all 12 languages supported.
आज की बिक्री
What are you playing a role of retailer?
Sure. Hey Zini, आज का धंधा कितना हुआ?
आज की बिक्री 12,450 रुपये है। आपका सबसे ज़्यादा बिकने वाला प्रोडक्ट पार्ले जी है।
So that was quick. Whatever the retailer asks, it responds immediately. Thanks to the AI processor. Thanks to the AI processor, which has a embedded NPU within the chip itself. It can handle any complex queries with ease. Okay, sorry.
You want mine?
Yeah. So whatever retail ask, any question that retailer ask, Zini responds immediately. Thanks to the AI processing unit, which has a dedicated NPU within the chip itself, so it can handle any queries with ease. Okay. Zini also has equipped with 4 mics, so that it can understand what retailer is speaking in any noisy environment. Okay, and it can only respond to the shop owner making the data private and secure for his shop and for himself.
Let's try one more.
Yes, go ahead.
Hey Zini, show me most important alerts.
Maggie noodles packs expiring in 3 days. Want to reorder? Ramesh still owes 1,200 rupees in credit from last week. Should I send him a reminder?
So Zini is more than Q&A. It tracks your expiring inventories. It tracks your important bill payments, alerts, and everything. So the alerts are crystal clear with a powerful speakers that are embedded within the Zini Cube itself, so that a retailer don't miss any important alerts even in the noisy environments. Yeah. How about next one?
Let's try the last one.
Yeah.
Hey Zini, which product should I stock up more this week?
With Diwali coming up, sales of sweets, snacks, and cold drinks are trending 25% higher than last month. Stock Coca-Cola 2-liter bottles, Haldiram's Soan Papdi, and Cadbury celebration packs to maximize festive revenue.
Yeah, the cross-selling and upselling is a part of intelligence layer. We call it as Zini intelligence. So this will help retailer to increase their margins with no extra efforts. Okay, that's amazing, right?
Yeah.
So what more amazing is the specification of the Zini Cube itself. It is equipped with 8 GB RAM, 32 GB storage, and 10,000 mAh battery, which runs 24 hours for retailer working with him day and night for this intelligence. Yeah. So let me try.
You want to try as a retailer?
Customer?
You want to try?
Yeah. Side.
Welcome back, Mr. Spurdy.
Yeah. So basically, we have a high resolution camera here, which identify you as a customer and recognizes you and your last purchasing patterns and sells you something that is of your taste.
See, this is beyond intelligence. It is built for retailers, and retail is the backbone for India. It might look like a small cube, but it is strong, powerful, and intelligent, and it will be benefit for every Indian retailers across. Okay. So to dive deeper into the story, and I'll invite someone who teaches us daily basis how data drives business forward. I welcome Afzal Modak, the chairman of BranchX, to take it up from here. Yeah.
Be here. What a momentous occasion, and delighted to be part of it. But you saw everything from Spruti and Rishi. Nice job for them. I think we should give them a hand. And this is not fake. This is real stuff. And I was actually blown away when I saw it. We've been talking about many things. What drives us and why suffer through so much of pain in India? There is no denying that this is the fourth largest economy. 3 trillion, 5 trillion, 10 trillion. Can this country ever get to those goals? And I must submit, not easy. Not about Ambani's, not about Adani, not about Mahindra, not about Tata's. It's about the Kirana stores. Without the little guys getting into the act, there is no real action. We all know that these people face so much trouble. Micro SMEs and SMEs, their day begins with problems, their day begins with cash flows, their day begins with all the sweat and tears. The big guys, abundant capital, advanced technology, whatever you need, better procurement, the best deals, right? So how do you create a level playing field for a little guy? That is the problem statement. That is the problem statement on which we bonded, the co-founders here, Sajid and Rajesh. I thought I was the only crazy guy, and these guys believed me, saying that we must figure out a way. It's not about how we sell another SAP to a big company like Tata Motors. It's about how do you connect little people who are not even organized, they are almost unorganized, and they're loosely not even connected, they're loosely connected. So that is the problem statement that we were trying to solve. And if you visualize that $10 trillion economy, I think a reward for saying 10, everybody's been talking about 5 trillion. But I believe this country has everything going for it, thanks to big economies of the West. They are making it easy for the world to focus on these kinds of things. So for us to reach that level, visualize a large company making production. They sell their goods to thousands of distributors, and each distributor goes to hundreds of little kirana stores. So the goods flow like this, from 1 to 1,000 to 200,000. The money should flow back from this guy to the distributor to the main company. And the fact is, the goods flow with friction, the money does not flow. There is nothing like a data flow. You got to solve for all three things, but you can't digitize anything unless the last mile is digitized. How do you digitize last mile? The answer is Zini Cube. So Zini Cube is the backbone of the $10 trillion vision. Now, I don't care who makes money. I don't care how we connect to the banks. But without data, there is no business. And this is such a powerful thing. And of course, we may have glitches in hardware, and we may have a problem with the printer, and the Wi-Fi may not work. But without this, there is no digitization. So I'm excited to be part of this journey. I'm sure that all of you are beginning to see what our aspirations are. And it is not about selling this thing for 5,000 rupees profit or 10,000. It's about empowering 60 million and more little people earn a livelihood, understand their inventory, understand what they purchase, understand what they sell. And imagine if they can get the same deal of purchasing which DMart gets. A little man cannot. But when you have 100,000 shops, BranchX can help negotiate a better procurement. They can buy against the contract for belonging to this community of commerce. So we have lots of ideas, and all of you here are influencers, you're well-wishers, you're insiders to us outside, doesn't matter. It's the game of collaboration, the game of working together. And with this goods flow and money flow and data flow, there is no stopping us. Today, I think the beginning, and I hope that not every year, not every quarter, every week, we should be seeing this thing getting, I would say, out of control in a good way. And we look forward to that time, and hopefully we can have a lot more celebrations. Again, I think for the co-founders and the technical team and the rest of the team and all our partners who are helping us get to the field. So the tech part is, let's say whatever it is, we can't get to the shops, but fortunately for us, we have people like OAPay and others who are showing us the way on how to reach out to interiors of the country, whether it is Indore or whether it is Bhopal, whether it is Tirupati or Coimbatore, right? And I think we will go and find what? We're going to find the cube. We're going to find the Zini cube. Zini is the magic, and we will bring it alive in the stores. So I hope that I can adjourn here from my part and call back Rajesh to say a few words for ending the meeting. But I hope you are as excited as I am. This is the path to $10 trillion economy, and hopefully we'll make lots of money along the way, all of us.
See, few times you get in life someone who has he managed $100 billion bank balance sheet. So backing on a $1 trillion journey sounds interesting and supportive equally. At the same time, I really, really wanted to thank each of you who could find your precious time in the middle of GFF. Some of your partners, some of us are working together, some of the big four are here. And I appreciate each and every one having been. We also have our Expandify team from Europe, across Europe, they have turned up. And really, really thanking you for making it in the nick of time. It's exactly the effort that we've been doing in the last 5 years in creating an EBITDA positive company. We are in the right spirits. We have been backing by a couple of very good, working closely wealth managers and investment bankers of the country who was advising us to, and they're just telling us that we should hold on to the fight and make it to public market as Indian public market is heated up and really holding on to the fort and across whatever that is happening in the geopolitical way. So there is so much of opportunity out here. There is so much of partnerships that is happening, forming. And I want to thank each and every of you of coming and blessing us with your presence in this great occasion and making Genie Intelligence a real product, the voice to a million retailers, an intelligence at the counter, embedding finance, embedding brand voices, and making ease of use and making ease of business at every small counter, making the economy flourishing, opportunity increasing. And as I also want to thank two gentlemen who are here. Dr. Ritesh Jain, who's ex-IFC and World Bank, and Prasanna Loha of India Blockchain Forum and ex-banker himself, for blessing us in this occasion, because they've also helped us in preparing a report on the MSME segment of India. So they have created a report in this evening, and I want them to come on stage and take it forward to the next stage. They also wanted to talk about in conversations, and which I'm not really good at. So I would rather go back to Bangalore and do some, probably do a little bit of old codes and a little marketing and sales. So I would rather bring the people who knows the talk, Dr. Ritesh Jain and Prasanna Loha. Please come on stage. Yeah. We'll set up stage meanwhile, and I think they both have also brought in a couple of very interesting sets of people. I think someone else from Singapore has joined us on stage, and I think Ritesh will talk about these gentlemen to join us. Thank you, Ritesh.
So congratulations to Rajesh and Sajid. Phenomenal work. I'm lost of words, to be honest, since I've seen this earlier, but whenever I'm saying this today over and over again, and I know that what you were building, because the problem that we know, we have seen this over and over again since childhood until now. We live in with fintech and payments day in and day out in the global markets, and we have seen it. So it's not only the problem for India, it's a problem for the global markets. You name the country, and I can tell you, there's not even a single product in the world today as Genie. So I'm really excited about and I'm excited and proud to say what they have built, it's phenomenal. It's truly phenomenal. And I was just having a word with people in the different forums in the global market today about what is about to get launched today, this evening, and they can't wait to see that, and they can't wait to get their hands onto the product. So phenomenal work. Thank you, Rajesh.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, Sajid, for bringing this to life. And I've got Prasanna, who wouldn't know Prasanna Loha. And obviously, he is one of the fintech guru in the country and supporting quite a lot of fintechs and the banks and bringing innovation in the market. On the stage, I have got Shrikant Patil as well. Shrikant, please join us. Shrikant Patil is building some phenomenal product. Shrikant Patil is a founder for a company called DigiAli, and DigiAli is bridging the gap for the credit scoring for MSMEs in the country and in the global markets. So definitely have a look, and we are going to talk about something really exciting that we all are very excited as well as cautious about, and that is the MSME inclusion in the country as well as from the global perspective. So that's what we are going to talk today. So thank you. And for the report launch, please, I'll call Sajid. Sajid, please come on board. Dr. Saab, please come on board. So we have done a report, and when Sajid told me about that we would like to do a report, and we would like to bring a clear view in terms of the MSMEs and the inclusion. Thank you. So obviously, for far you can't see, but I can tell you, it's a BranchX perspective on bridging India's financial access gap. So unlocking Bharat MSMEs, inclusion and digital growth engine. So what we are talking about in this report is giving the clarity that where are the gaps, and for the context, I know very able people sitting over here in the audience as well. Amit, good to see you. And thank you, Nidhi from PwC. They don't need an introduction. Thank you, Ketan. Thank you, Anup. And quite a lot of other people. Thank you very much for coming. So give you the context. The credit gap in MSME in the country is close to 1.5 trillion. So what we want to talk about, where are the challenges? What's really happening and what we can do about it? And how Genie, a product like Genie, trust me, it is not about, we are not going to market Genie for the bridging the gap, but automatically you can connect the dots where we are heading to. So thank you, Prasanna. Thank you, Shrikant. Let's have a seat. Rajesh, please come on board. Yes, you build the product. Come on. Now you talk
Actually,
about
you should
that,
be
what
here.
you are going to do. So Rajesh, my first question to you, as there's an elephant in the room, MSMEs are facing a significant amount of challenge today. And as we know, the 90% of the economy runs by the MSMEs rather than the large enterprises. So basically, they run the businesses, they run the employments. So what do you think that, where are the challenge from your perspective?
See, industrialization is a beautiful process. It sets processes in place, it sets everything in motion. The problem with this approach is that anything that is not part of industrialization naturally slips majorly. Because as economy becomes a lot more organized, you have challenges. That doesn't happen at the top, it always happens at the bottom. Because friction happens. And MSMEs, the biggest challenge is that they are supposed to show more and more, and which they don't have. To have more and more, they need capital from institutions which are now institutionalized. And exactly the friction gets added up into the larger picture. And if you look at it, you know, we have Amol from Saudi Arabia. He heads a large bank there. And we visited them actually as part of an expansion plan. And, you know, they were all helpful, but the credit team all of a sudden said, your tickets are very small. So banks don't want to look at the small guy. This is exactly what MSMEs are facing. Banks don't like the small guy. They look at a balance sheet, and balance sheets are very small. The banks find it not exactly very easy to support. It's not like banks don't want to do it. It doesn't become efficient for them to support 1 million people. That's...
So you mean to say it's not worth lending them because they're too small and the operational cost is too high?
Exactly. That's exactly where the problem is. I think someone who's been working on the new technology, he can really understand this pain. I've actually, multiple times I've vented out to him on this.
So, Prasanna, what's your view on this? Like, how we can fix this problem?
I think first of all, thank you so much for inviting me here, Rajesh and Sajid, and congratulations for making one of those best innovation of this evening of Global Fintech Fest. And I think world was always waiting for something like this. Have you ever seen this kind of a form factor, which is really reading data and giving back on the spot what is that customer is really looking for as a transaction? And that too, it is coming to those segment which is adding almost 30 to 35% of GDP of a country like India. So I think it's not only India, around the world, MSME has really faced challenges. India is a good country where it is blessed with digital public infrastructure, and that's a story we have always carried to other countries also, with Aadhaar, or we talk about account aggregator, with UPI as a payment. So as a DPI, we have a good identity, good data exchange, as well as a payment experience. But to bring a proper use case, which is not only for retail customers or corporates, but to those segments, while we are from India, and that too in Mumbai, if you go to Dadar, which is one of the place nearby, people earlier used to borrow 1,000 rupees or maybe 1,500 or 2,000 rupees, and used to give back with at least rate of a 30% a day, right? So imagine that's a credit daily worthiness which we used to do, or still it is happening in this era. Now, when we come back and when it's a larger opportunity where these MSMEs are really adding those GDP, we need to look at how easily we should make a credit worthiness available. At the RBI Innovation Hub, we are looking at building a ULI, which is Unified Lending Interface, the way we have UPI. But while many of the banks has tried individually to bridge these gaps, like at a DCB, we have a SME finance banking, or many of those banks, IDFC banks, they must have had implemented. But bridging that gap, while so far data was always there back in centralized systems, when Genie comes and gives an opportunity that data or data insights are lying on that particular POS or particular to that MSME, which was not an opportunity for MSME to say, this is what I'm doing. If you look at some of those examples like Tallies or Zohos, again, the data is not there with the merchants. But with this kind of opportunity, I think there is always a visibility for those banks who are really creating those accounts for those MSMEs. They can always look at what is their performance on a daily, monthly basis and say, this is something available for you. I think as chairman of BranchX has spoke, like this is just a beginning, and let's look at the way we look at Viksit Bharat, where 30%, more than 30% GDP will be driven by MSMEs. To what we need today, maybe globally we have companies like Google, Nvidia, and around. India needs more than 10 such companies. And while having those companies, we need to really take care of a last mile. So I think it's a very, very big problem to solve, while we have railroads available. And I look at, and once again, congratulate Sajid, Rajesh, and the whole entire team. I have seen their journey last couple of years, looking at that device, and the kind of a device which I had seen. Sajid, hats up to you and Rajesh. The form factor today, it looks really altogether different. So on that journey, I think congratulations once again. Ritesh, in a nutshell, I think this is a large opportunity. Let's look forward, many more initiatives coming out of GFF, one of the most innovative, yeah.
Thank you, Prasanna. Shrikant, specifically to you, you come from a place where you are fixing a problem, and that is specifically in the MSME space. How do you see a product like Genie could make it easier? Or if I go a bit above Genie, how do you see that this problem can be fixed by a product or a service for MSMEs and to bridge that gap with the banks?
So I messaged you while I was here that the product has some phenomenal innovative ideas, and it's unbelievable that how you've stretched the imagination. So congratulations to the team, some amazing work. Now let me talk about some statistics, right? We talk about we are at 4 or 5 trillion today, and today in India, roughly around 1.5 trillion is the gap for MSME credit. Now, one of the reasons why it is not getting solved or was not getting solved is because absence of data to look at many of these. And I'll give you one example. So everybody knows and how this is a global problem. This is not just India. So I happen to be in Santander in Brazil. Brazil is the second biggest outside Spain. And the bank has a pyramid. Bank says that when I give a loan to micro enterprises, I want 100% digital journey. I do not want to have any human interaction, right? When they go slightly above, they want to have certain percentage of interaction, and for the higher ones, they will do that. But what you are fulfilling, I want to emphasize here, is the dream for the banks who want to do this 100% digitization of the journey. Is something which is going to completely change the cost of onboarding these customers, the way, and with the payment data, you could convert that into credit dimension. So I believe that there's a phenomenal opportunity for you to think from that perspective, that when you are having this conversation with the bank saying straight through processing, for credit, don't even worry about it. And you are not only offering a solution, but you are creating a market for these banks. You are creating an opportunity for these micro enterprises who can now think about, I'll come to the expense and this top product part, but they at least will have a complete stand in front of a bank and say, at a push of a button, you get all this. Don't even waste my time. I want to focus on being in the shop, selling things versus actually coming to the bank and trying to keep applying for this. So you have created this, solution which is going to be useful on both sides. So I mean, you imagine. So a lot of this you talked about doesn't cover even the time which a shopkeeper has to go to the bank and spend and get frustrated and all of that. That is going to go away. So you are creating a revolution, and this is phenomenal. I just want to add, Mr. Afzal mentioned about 10 trillion. There are, if we grow by 6.5%, 7% or 8%, there are some numbers which people say we could go up to 55 trillion. So now this 1.5 trillion suddenly you can scale it up, right? And so this market, this opportunity which you are creating is not only for the shopkeepers, but it's also for the digitization of the economy and an opportunity for banks to deliver straight through processing for lending across the country.
Thank you, Shrikant. And that's very powerful what you said. And that's what I really meant, Rajesh, when I said the product that you're creating, it's a global product. And trust me, nowadays, because like we are in the Fintech Fest, we know that what's really happening. Everybody is after removing friction from the customer journey, but that is more digital, right? And what you have created is a global product that I can clearly see. And I'm being completely honest, I have not seen innovation like this in the recent past, and specifically in the phygital model, right? And needless to say, some of the people would like to copy this immediately, all right? And I'm not surprised, because what you've created, Sajid, it's phenomenal. And I second Prasanna that what I've seen earlier and what it is today, it's a completely different product. So thank you for doing this. Prasanna, I would like to come back to you for a moment. We have seen quite a lot of talks around the inclusion in the country, right? Now, when it comes down to the lending, there are always a challenge. How do you see that products like this can directly fix the gap of the lending, and what financial institutions need to do now?
Yeah, I think what Shrikant said, and I really appreciate Shrikant's innovation also, like digitally, and he's really solving that by saying how do you create a risk score, not only from the data available, but multiple other parameters. He has built as a fintech, right? And it is getting help into banks. But when we look at the bank's journey today on MSME or SME data, right? And imagine like this Cube is having that data which is available, and as a merchant, he is able to see his performance on its own on the, and he knows like how much he can really get a loan based upon his performance. But I think after 2017, when GST came into picture, and GST and the data which is available, public data, GST, and many more fintechs has right on that thing, and even like Tally or connected banking platforms or acquiring platforms started giving back bankers to complete visibility of what we are procuring or what we are spending. And I think the way we see the message, right? HDFC Bank done 10-second loan on ATMs, or Bajaj keeps saying this is something available. I think MSMEs will start sending and getting those messages through this kind of innovation. So while today we are done with or part of the traditional banking, and we are so good with the digital banking, but with AI coming into picture, right? And that too, data on top of AI. I think we are seeing clear intelligent banking, where the banking is getting more and more invisible. So I think MSMEs do not have to go to those bank branches by saying ki, how much loan or this is my need. Typically bankers will go maybe physically or through some kind of notifications on the Zini itself. This is something available for you. Give a consent, maybe through account aggregator or ULI mechanism, because now in ULI account aggregator is by default they have implemented. So banks do not have to go and do point-to-point integration. So I could see in a future on a Zini there will be a button, okay, I give a consent, and the money is given to his account or his or her account in the. So I think that kind of invisible banking or intelligent banking we'll see. Over a period of time, I have my own ideas, which I will discuss with Sajid and Rajesh, how blockchain or tokenization can really make this product at a global scale. And though I really support what Shrikant says, it's not only India. I think Zini is, and kind of a Zini innovation is the whole world is waiting for. So ultimately, everybody will be benefited out of it, MSMEs, and by default, banks will get another alternate opportunity to create a better product for their customers.
Thank you, Prasanna. I'm coming back to you, Shrikant. Specifically, we have seen the financial inclusion. I sit in the World Bank on GPFI, which is the Global Partnership for Financial Inclusion. We have seen this for a very long time. In the country where we talk about the inclusion, which is 89%, while the literacy is 24%, that doesn't add up. Might not be the right thing for me to say over here, but I call a spade a spade. Let's be realistic. So how do you see the financial inclusion 2.0 unfolding? Shrikant.
So in my mind, I think, so there are 2-3 dimensions here, right? One is, of course, you probably have a lot of Gen AI, which you have used as part of this journey. But you need to also realize the power which you guys have, that over a period of time, you will be able to collect data from multiple merchants, retailers, and you could create your predictive modeling on the top of that. You could offer advice to banks. So don't lose the sight. To me, I think the idea would be, while banks will continue, I mean, we don't know when banks will change their stance.
Okay, Shrikant, you can say that.
But the point is, the power this device has is that you would have an aggregate view of a pin code, of a city, and you could have like some of those dimensions which is taken care of there. That is one aspect of it. The second aspect, I also believe that, and again, we have a champion here, but there are many derived cases of, it also depends on this, is, CBDC, because if you think about financial inclusion where people don't want to be traced and whatever like is going on, you could also link it to some of these. So which kind of bypasses the whole idea about, I need to have a bank account. And, we had this conversation yesterday where you challenged the very definition of what is financial inclusion means, right? Only having one account, one financial product is not financial inclusion. So in true sense, if you extend this to CBDC, then you are handing over cash to these people, and there could be another area. And again, I'm stretching my this imagination here. You guys have the
I think that's the
this.
reality, and I'll see the way it is happening. I'll take a 1 minute.
Please,
Ritesh.
please.
As a part of a CBDC, we always discuss about UPI versus CBDC. I think India is really good in UPI, but there are many countries who are not on UPI or any of those real-time payment. That's one perspective. Another perspective. Financial inclusion 2.0, why CBDC started with the inclination, we need to have a financial inclusion. And today, I think SBI has launched like special purpose wallet, which doesn't require a account. What it requires is only Aadhaar, and Aadhaar-backed ABPS is mapped with the CBDC ID. So any of them who are receiving DBTs, they can directly receive in those wallets without account is there. And with that wallet, they can spend that the way it is being programmed. For example, tomorrow MSME backed this Genie product will receive directly the currencies through a wallet that can be mapped to the MSME's wallet. That too based upon the data, the way Srikanth said. I think that's a way to look at, and moreover, there will be a liberty given to the merchants how they can spend that. So I think that's I think the way this is digital product is being built. It's a bold move, but it's very innovative. Once again, congratulations to the team. So look forward many more use cases on top of this. Yeah.
Thank you, Prasanna. And I don't want to keep everybody away from the dinner and drinks. So I would like to wrap up over here. But before that, I would like to definitely say the product that I see, it's built in India, engineered over here, and for the global market. So I don't see this limited to Indian market. And what I see this product, and I'm really proud of, like you are really making what Modi ji is saying, that yes, build for global market, build in India for the global market. So that's truly ensembles the motto. So thank you again for doing this. And I'm really proud of to be here. So thank you. Thank you, Ajesh. Thank you, Sajid. And thank you, the whole team BranchX.
Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you, Ritesh, for and Prasanna for the report. Yeah, and we're creating voice for India. This is the voice of India. This has got voice AI. This has got large language models. It's got much larger capabilities. And thank you for both of them are spending a lot of time in creating this report. Please read that out. And the idea is that we will have an addendum somewhere towards the financial year end with a lot more capabilities. This was just a preview that both of them are created, and we're going to have a lot more capabilities that is coming through with it.
So let me just add over here, which I have not told you, and I wasn't about to say this, but you made me say this, that I would like to really take this product to the global market as soon as possible. And as you said, like we are going to come back with another report in next 6 months with a full-blown and with a lot of data that we are going to learn from our own customers through Genie. So thank you very much.